Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Livingston again, and for this video that I will be dedicated to Asian History Month in the year 2025, I shall be covering the second season of the South Korean import show Squid Game, because this show is really awesome. Even though I don't think that the symbols on the actual show itself represent a squid, but who am I gonna say? Anyway, this is the second season of the show, and I should point out that when the title screen rolls around, they like to call it Squid Game 2, not Season 2. It's just Squid Game 2. Like it's a sequel to the first series. But let me tell you, this is also this show. For all the intricacies of it, it's very awesome. And they got a new cast of characters in there, some old favorites, like the old like the guy that runs a place with the master computer Mascon from Tron, as well as those players. I think it was 456, which has the same number this go round, as well as a few newbies, some of which are now my new favorite characters I root for. And I look forward to season 3 when they live or die. Anyway, this show is really awesome, and it continues the story about what happened 3 years after the first Squid Game happened. And basically, what that is, it's like a game show for rich people with no ethics and morals, somewhat like what they set up in the Hustle movies, in which people play childish games. I mean, literally games for little kids that they either live by or they die by, and depending on how the people do in the game, they either die or they live. And it's like consists of like 6 rounds of the games. So each game is like a new challenge. One is a red light, green light, which is controlled by a robot that turns her head around every time it's red light, green light. And I forgot to mention it when I mentioned the video on Kim Pro videos. This statue is played by Che in the Kim Pro thing, and it's very good too. I just wish that they would play the I guess the countdown for it like Che does. Very adorable Che, by the way. Anyway, they got that one, and they got other games where I wish that they would do like a Ita, like Kubi does in her videos, like a countdown of Let's Go or something like that. But there is some weird little quirks going on in this show from the get-go I noticed. Number one being that the sweet little announcer lady, kind of like Cortana type character, the announcer there says, we are about to continue with the Squid Games with the next round. Please return it to your sign position and get going. Meanwhile, she does like a countdown for like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just the final round of each game. I remember that being in the first season of the show. And second of all, when they do that, they have like blood on the floor from when they murdered other people that lost the games and stuff. So I would think that that's kind of like unfair disadvantage to everybody else, being that the floor would be slippery as well. And it'd be psychologically traumatic to see you trotting and jumping over the bodies or the blood and sweat of your fallen comrades. But besides that, there's also something that's very weird. This show is based in South Korea, right? The games are named after South Korean games, but yet they play the music for Japanese high schools. You know, bing, 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 which I find very strange. Unless maybe that could just be the ringtone for Korean schools as well. But let's see here. We got that. Now, and the only way to really survive in these games is to either play them, and hopefully you're a kid and remember how you punch them as a kid, or do what some of the other people do, and do like they did in Slumdog Millionaire, by which they have experiences and therefore more potent memories about how to win these games. Like there's one girl that does like weird they have to pick up like almost like jacks, like American version of jacks, with a bunch of 5 little plastic pieces. And she remembers that when she was younger, she played with bullets with these probably during the Korean War, and that was how she won the game in like a 6-person melee, running marathon around the giant rainbow circle, very conveniently splattered with the blood of her other I guess teammates or group members. Well, not group members, but the other teammates who failed the challenges. And it's very funny too because there are like 5 different stations for them, and each station has like its own trail line of blood execution methods. So that's very funny, really funny that they do that. It demarcates what everyone lost in the match. So anyway, let's see. The first season of the show, I view as like a shock-and-awe type of thing. Look at these horrific games, we're all surprised and shocked to see them all so bloody and so murderous, we all love these characters, we grow to like them and stuff, and then they get shot in cold blood, well, because they love the childish little game and all that. And the people who run it are heartless bastards and based some sure, as well as all the people that run around with guns, like the handlers of this world. And they also wear masks so you can't identify with them, except for one person that we find out in season 2. They find out that she's North Korean, not just defector or something, that fought and shot many people on the way out of North Korea, which is a very horrible state. In fact, right now, I'm reading a book about that right now, about North and South Korea, and how horrible it is up there. But in any case, that's her character. She's a very bad-hearted individual, very cold and very icy. In fact, right before the show started, they showed the person there with doing like a little theme park thing with the little kid that she ended up getting a little tattoo because she followed the costume character into the dressing room, and we all know how bad that could be with them taking off their heads and costumes and stuff. And then they also showed that she had little slit marks in her wrist to show that she at least once tried to commit suicide and such. So there was that, and then they had a guy that came in there and ruined the whole illusion of it when she put her head back on, and the guy came out with no head on but leather and tried to kiss. But anyway, that's her own backstory. I don't know why they would leave a kid unattended at a theme park of all places. You know, park would be one thing, or a hiking trail would be another one. But a theme park, no, I don't think so. Too many things can go wrong for the kid and the parents too. But well, but there's one thing I want to know about these people, and that's Koreans. From what I've seen online and people that I know and stuff, is that the people from the South can be almost pure white. Like that's what they view as attractive a lot. But in this season, before this girl who's in league with with the Squid Game bosses and stuff, and she uses the pink outfit on with her mask on with no actual identifying marks except for an extra or a square or a triangle or a circle on top of the mask to be kind of like the PS2 buttons like on a controller, except for the X. Like X means death, I guess. So they didn't want to use that, but it's very funny that they do that for demarcation. Anyway, what we're trying to say is that she's got more of a darker complexion about her. Same with a Korean girl I know from college. The darker complexion. So how does that work out? How do people from North have a darker complexion than people from the South? You would think it'd be the opposite way around, being a slight difference. But there's also the notion that the girls from the North are more wild and they're more willing to do certain actions, but according to the show at least, by some horny guys and stuff. But that's neither here nor there. So, she's also a favorite of mine, my favorite character of mine. Also, the old lady that was participating in the game with the board and the Jax type game. She's my second favorite character. So like I said, this whole season, the first season was like a juggernaut type thing. It's horrible. It's ruthless. It's very cold blooded. It's very it's in your face, aggressive and things like that. So it was very visceral in that regard. But in this season, it seemed to be more of a behind the scenes type of thing. Like this guy who wasn't the first one, the guy like a John Joe. He wanted to get back in the game and he wanted to stop it for good because he doesn't want any more bloodshed or violence. And you have the Squid Game, which is a very noble cause. So this is like more of a of a behind the scenes look, kind of like what I said about Back to the Future Part 2, that that most of the events that happened in Hill Valley in the past were redone revisited in the second movie. I don't know if there was a thing for number 2 in there, that was a coincidence or not, but it was like kind of weird that they would do that. So, let's see, what else was there? That is the behind the scenes, the whole getting to know these people who were the gunners and stuff and all of that. And it showed that this North Korean girl, number 11, on the killing roster, is like a very cold-hearted bitch. Even worse though than the average person, because the people will actually shoot and not kill certain people for targeting for that they want to harvest the organs, etc., or do something else with the bodies, or whatever, and they need to meet them to be alive. But this girl ends up killing everybody to the point that I can imagine her, somebody else saying in the line from Hello, hey, you saw my kill. So that would be pretty funny if someone actually said that. By the way, the dubbing in here is still kind of like, I don't know if it's exact translation or not, but it's something funny. So anyway, there's that character. And the whole new team is assembled themselves for the Squid Games Volume 2, and they end up going to John Cho over there for advice on how to beat the game that has 5, because they all want to survive and get that all glorious prize money. Everything is about the money. Who gives a shit about humanity and being nice to other people? In fact, there's one guy in there that I hate it. His name is Thanos. And yes, he is named after the character from the MCU. And he's got purple hair. He's got like 5 infinity gems put on his hand, like his nail polish. And he's a nice little asshole too, because he likes to win the games by using performance enhancing drugs in like a pill form, like in his cross, like in the movie the other one, Cruel Intentions, where one of the characters has that in his cross. Okay, I think it was. So anyway, they had him tweaking, as it were, and they show that he's a little bit of a prick when it comes to games, because he shows people out of the way for when the motion detector statue determines who gets killed and who doesn't. He will actually push people out of the way for the doors for the little merry-go-round game that they will play like six rounds with. So he's an asshole. Don't worry, he gets forked in the end by one of the other guys. And they also form like a faction system where X's versus O's. The X's want out. Every round they do like a vote to see who wants out, and the majority wins. And if the majority is like over 50%, they get out of the games altogether. Everybody does. But if the O's win, they get to play more. Which I also don't think was a thing for the first round either. It didn't get the first season. I think the X and O's where I think of the accident of where the votes were like one round, and I looked the first round, that everyone was like, let's go for it. I don't think it was every single round that everyone did the vote, which is more democratic, I think. Still barbaric, but it was too much, too barbaric. And the roster has changed a lot, being that this new round of people that participate in these games are more whiny, and they're more they're younger at this point in the rounds. They're more whiny, they're more obsessed with looks, they're more obsessed with the how to look on Instagram or TikTok or whatever they're using nowadays. They're more interested in how many likes to get on Facebook, on YouTube, and all that. Same with Thanos and same with all the other people too. So I would say that that's more of a generational type thing. People learned about the Squid Game in the first round, so they're the newer generation, the more the younger generation, the more whiny and complaining generation is getting involved with now. And there are new ideas being come out too. For example, my favorite character in the whole show so far is a woman that is played by a man that's like a transgender person. And the reason why I like her so much is because she's very tough in the games. She's very let's win this for everybody type thing. She's very forward in her one to complete her goals, and she also slapped a bitch up the head a few times when she tried to concentrate enough for the games. And it turned out that she's also in the special forces of South Korea too at one point. And she's more I forgot her name in the show, but she's number 120 on the participation list. And she actually reminded me a lot of Keiko from a while ago when I went to New Paltz College. And the only thing I don't like about her character is that she's not played by a transgender person. That's one opportunity I think they missed. I wish that they had played that. I got real transgender accurate to play her, but still, it's still pretty good. And they make a point of it to say that kind of thing is more allowable, permissible now. So, like that shows how much progress is coming in, like the generations of people that play these games. So anyway, during the actual game itself, they actually show that John Cho was right when he predicted that the first game would be that red light, green light thing with the dummy doll there, and everyone followed him and stuff. But there was this one girl in there that I just so bad for because the whole premise is that red light, green light, you move when it's green light, but you stop when it's red light. Of course, everyone knows the game. But there will be the lady from outside, and she really freaked out about it. I mean, I would. And she was shot as a result of that. I feel that was kind of unfair for her because that was like an outside force that came into the games and ruined everything else for her. So then being on somebody else, and he freaks out quite rightly and he ends up getting killed in the process too. No, but nobody ever knows anything else about the speed. It never goes to anybody else. Although it'd be so funny if the bee ended up landing on somebody else too, but was shot by one of the snipers. That would be funny. I would have lost my shit when that happened. But being that this game in particular is open to the outside world, you think that somebody from a helicopter and stuff would come over and be able to spot an open pit, like open square, and see just touch when the people they're being shot at by snipers and whatnot. My idea is that number 11 of the shooters will end up turning on the masters and trying to help out the good guys for a change. In a little PS1 mask, along with some of the others. So anyway, there was that too. So everyone during, I think, then they turn to John Cho for what's gonna happen next in the next round. And he did that with the honeycomb cookie game, where they cut out the different shapes and whatnot. And then it determine how you die there. Then the guy has a nightmare about that everyone goes over to the side of triangle, because that's what he picked, and that was the easiest shape to cut out. And you see everyone over there go for that, and all the other shapes must have been lonely and stuff. So then they cut to his triangle cookie, and it's a very complex shape to try to defeat his plan. So then it's like, oh no, they picked a different game. They picked that rainbow thing with the marathon. So it was funny. They had to put like hacky sack, which number 121, and all that stuff. And they had to throw a rock at another stone, a big rock and stuff. So it was all kinds of key games that you play with little children. But most people win that. They even had a pregnant woman on that with a baby daddy. Now, what was she thinking? That this would be like an easy game to play with a baby inside you, and she's very, very pregnant. The point that in the next season she might give birth. Now, how would the Squid Game judges deal with that? Would they put her in the hospital, or would they put the baby in the hospital or something? That leads to other perversions that could happen with that. So anyway, they show her like that, in that condition, and then they chose grandmother, the mother, and she's very protective over her son, to the point that she's like, back up my son, and all of that stuff. And that she reminds me of a mother from a basement house, or like the movie It, when she was very protective of her son, but he still loves his mother and stuff, to the point that he ends up doing everything with her, trying to support her, trying to protect her against the bad guys, the whatever else. But then in the third round, when they do like a merry-go-round thing, with everyone scrambling to keep protected and stuff, they actually show that these people actually shoot inside the door, and they shoot whoever they deem unworthy or without the proper number of survivors in the door. So there's something to do. But the thing is that if you have extra members in the door, in the little room there, then it wouldn't make sense to hide them just behind the door, like so that the guards can't see them. That's what I would do. So then they do another extra type of you know, voting, and they find that there's a 50% to 50% want to get out, want to continue the game. Now, this is actually kind of a new scenario because we never seen this before in the show. 50% want to stay and 50% want to leave. With a life attacked. So, anyway, I think that if they would leave, they would divvy up the total amount for themselves for the jackpot. Which I don't think was in the first one either. I think in the first one it was just one person winning the big pot at the end. That was it. Then this one they get like if they would leave at this point, they would leave with like $3 million or something like that. And then they have the one woman there that 120 slapped in the face a little while ago, like being all religious, hyper religious and stuff, saying the gods will protect me, and my friend over there that's also equally religious, you will all die over there and stuff. This is really weird because Korea is known for being Buddhist and Confucianist, which doesn't make room for any other god besides the Buddha and ancestors and stuff. So to say that was really weird. It's kind of confusing Japan with Korea, unless maybe Japanese or something. Which I like when she looks down at the voting button and she votes go continue with it. She got the very ominous look in her eyes and a very ominous face that she puts on and stuff with the red light on it. It's really kind of cool. So anyway, they have these people saying they're gonna die. Now, I don't know if it's because she slapped her or because the girl that slapped her was a transgender. Because there are people out there who still say that, "Ooh, don't go near me, you're ugly, you're horrible, you're an abomination, you're this or that." So then, in the end of the merry-go-round thing, there's a big fight in which Thanos died by forking, and very properly so, because I kept saying to myself, when is this fucker gonna die? He deserves it. He's an asshole. He brings up women, and he's just a very horrible person. So, probably even worse than the real Thanos in the comic books. So anyway, like because when this hero died, he ended up getting killed in a bathroom fight. Right after he gets lit out by number one, in Ready Player One, and gets killed by gets knocked out by that guy, and with a punch in that with a wrestling move. Apparently, this guy was also in the armed forces. It seems like every other person in this weekend were in some kind of special forces or military training, along with Kicker over there. So anyway, they said, enough is enough. You have to, if you continue like this, everyone's gonna die. Which, yeah, everyone will die off of prize money. So anyway, they decided to have like a little uprising, and the people end up having a fight in the mess hall, right, literally, and the X's and O's have a fight in the dormitories. So then the guards were called in, and while they're dealing with the preoccupied with those people, John Cho and the rest of the people, like-minded, ended up taking the guns and starting a military revolt against the Squid Game commander. Now, while all that's happening, the cops from the first season are trying to seize the island, as a runway track. Now, during this whole thing, you would think that these events, that it'd be transgender in the bunch, there'd be military uprising in the games, there'd be cops trying to stop it, like in Twist the Middle, and you would think that all this would happen in previous years of this competition, that this stuff would happen. I guess not. So anyway, they end up doing like a military uprising, and you see a little army of these pink goons in the PlayStation masks going up against these little like ragtag characters, and you realize that many of the Squid Game outer areas beside the bathroom, beside the dormitory, the mess hall, is basically laid out to be like a very confusing, very confusing, lot of hiding spots, like a Halo 1 multiplayer map. And it's very funny that the only people, Keiko and John Cho and everybody else, fighting military style weapons with MP5s, trying to go up against these guys. The guys who are on the bad side end up fighting full automatic, whereas the other guy tried to pinpoint like one shot mode on the guns. And it's so funny because number 120, Keiko, he shows everyone how to do everything. And she's the real commander of the bunch. And they show that they have a guy on the inside of the game that's like on the commander's side, and that'd be number 1, a real hard-ass military guy. So it's really quite funny that he turns on the two guys at the end, and John Cho sees his best friend be shot in front of him right as the last episode credits show, like a big blackout type thing, and they show the pink guys bring in like a coffin in the shape of a birthday present to everyone else, showing my man John Cho in the back. And one other thing I want to know about, why did you show the guy in the credit sequence there with 7 minutes left? I think that that's unfair. So that you got out an hour-long episode, what more than that, plus 7 minutes for credits. That's dumb. But anyway, they show the people there. I guess they must have surrendered because they were out of ammo and out of manpower, literally, to fight against a little army of guys. Now, I think that the North Korean sharpshooter will be there to dissuade people to side with the good guys, give them ammo, give them expertise, maybe kill the commander guy, which I honestly thought was number 1, but I guess not. So it shows that he killed the guy, mean, I cut apart. And I like the way they showed that one of the other guys on the team was gonna go bring him the ammo. But then he got so scared that he didn't bring him any ammo. I like the way they showed that. They make it seem this guy is gonna be the traitor. But no, it just turned out to be number one. Playing number one. That they end up showing, that they end up shooting the guy in the head. And backstabbing teammates. Now, I don't know if there's something that's trying to say by saying that number one is on their side. Again, like in the first show. And John Cho is the last number in line, 456. So I don't know if they're trying to say anything by doing it, but it's very weird that they have it like that. And let's see here, well, they, yeah. Also, for the matter that they have the mother and the son there, and they have the numbers are a little bit far apart, so you would think that they would have them same close to each other, like one difference or two differences or whatever. Like, I don't know, like 140 and 141 or something like that, but I guess not. Anyway, they had, yeah, they had to go back and get the weapon and the gun from the guy that chickened out, was shell-shocked from all the gunfire and stuff. And he just wants his mommy, I'm sure. Pretty well today, yeah, it shows great job with the cliffhanger. I'm not sure if they were trying to imply anything by the little trapdoor in the crematorium. I think the guy was still alive at the time, and then they just put him down there for some reason. But I like this whole premise. By the way, I would like to see how funny it would be if somebody were delivering food and they would deliver it to the address to the Squid Game tournament. That would have been pretty as shit. Let's see here, the show's pretty funny. Although, I do find it very disheartening that this season had 7 episodes, whereas the first season, I think, had 9. So, I want more Squid Game, damn it. I want to see more carnage, more repeat games, more happy music, where they kill each other for life and death. Yeah, that shit is fun to me. Let's see, yeah. Who is your favorite Squid Game character? I love the I love 120. I love John Cho. I like Killer number 11. She's awesome. And she's like pretty combat heavy. When two guys try to have their way where she actually fights back pretty roughly. Which, let me just say about the people that got for the thing, the orderlies, they are uncivilized, they are uncouth, they are basically teenagers. It reminds me of when the bride took on Renishi's crazy AD, and she went back with the other guy at the end, the little teenager there. And he said, what are you doing fucking around with the Kuza? As she slugged in his butt with a sword. Go back home with your mother. That reminds me of when the guys realized that these were little teenagers that did this. Because they don't understand empathy and sympathy yet. And then cold too. But let's see. I like this show. I like fact that the Squid Game turned into more of a deadly type force. And at the end, when they were navigating the tight corridors and stuff, I didn't realize how many people these guys had pink monsters with triangle, square, and circle hat masks on. How much fun that was. So yeah, I like it. I like this show a lot. Can't wait to see season 3. And that's so fun. I like to know what the translation is for the theme song for this is. Of course, I know that Matrix did a rendition of it, but it's pretty good. Yeah, well, I think the full automatic fire of the bad guys was just to show how ferocious they are, how manic that they are, how crazy they are, and how much they want to stop at all odds to stop the good guys who use one fire move, single shot move. Yeah, I thank you for watching my video on Squid Game 2, Season 2. I did Asian History Month in 2025 because, like, look or not, this show is part of South Korean pop culture now. Just like those other Japanese TV shows that nobody can understand really, unless you watch it and pay attention to it. As such, I'm pretty sure that you would assume that I would give the happy face seal of approval. And you're right, because it's very awesome. Very well acted, very well executed, literally, and I like Team Hacky Sack. I like the drama with spinning the top. I like the fact that people go into teamwork mode only to backstab in like an hour or so. Backstabbing your former teammates, offer greed and survival, which is really awesome. So I enjoy all that. And if you like what you see here, want to see more of my videos, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also call me or text me for any input on future videos and such, by calling my number or texting my number at 631-707-3707. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PNelsonPro. Also, you can get my email at jjviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I salute all you South Koreans out there who don't participate in this thing, because you should always turn your back away if someone gives you a business card with the PS2 numbers, with PS2 button icon on it, the square, triangle, and circle buttons on it. Always do that. Otherwise, something bad is going to happen. More likely, you will perish in doing these games. So, I like this. I salute all the people that made this show. It's funny and it's unique. It's very dark. Just the way I like it. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. Aloha, Vincent, sayonara. To all you girls and guys in Ancient Land. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.